Hi everybody, it's Win. Hey guys, it's Daniel. Hi, it's Kim. Hello everyone, it is Lito. Hello everyone, it's Ed. Hi everybody, it's Kit. And welcome to another video by the Entropy system. It has been a little over a year since the last time we did our relationships video, where we talked about how we, in the Entropy system, feel about each other. Not only have the relationships changed, but there are new members and integrated members in our system now. I'm going to talk about how I feel about all my headmates, because that's a thing. Jonathan has changed a lot. You know, he before was kind of like, I'm the dad, in the way that he was like very hands-on with us. You know, he protected us from memories when we were trauma processing and stuff. But now that we're done trauma processing, now that we've basically explored all that stuff and processed all that stuff, there are no memory balls anymore. There's nothing like that. And so he's still kind of like dad figure in the headspace, but he's like distant dad, like we're the grown-up kids who have moved out and gone to college or whatever, and dad still loves us, but he understands that we need our space and we need to grow on our own or whatever, you know. So like we'll still like chat and say hi, and you know, there's still a lot of affection that I have towards him, but you know, there's not as much direct interaction. Jonathan has been a lot more relaxed and a lot more happy, I feel like, lately. He just kind of exists in the inner world. Like occasionally he'll come close to offer me comfort when I'm down, but he hasn't been fronting at all, which I think is good. He fronts when he feels distress and feels like he needs to step in and take responsibility for something, and he hasn't done that. I'm happy to see him being happy and being comfortable and being able to, you know, see where all of his hard work and care got the system as a whole, that he just kind of gets to exist in peace as we exist in peace, and that makes me really happy. So Jonathan, he's there. He's a guy. He smiles a lot. Big. I don't know. I don't talk. I don't care. I don't interact with him. I don't see him. I don't care. Jonathan is a very strong man, a very soft-spoken man. He has very, very many emotions. I apologize for the squeaking. I will try to edit all the squeaking out. The cat is playing with her new mouse toy, which she loves very much because it squeaks when she bats it. He has very many emotions. He stores them inside, and he is strong, and I just have so much respect for someone who can feel so deeply, because people try to suppress their emotions, but he does not. He allows himself to feel everything just purely, and I think that is great. So Jonathan, I've heard good things about him. He seems to be doing well. He's very emotional. That's all I have for him. Jonathan, really my feelings for him haven't changed much at all. I think he's cool for who he is. I've never viewed him as a dad, and I will never view him as a dad. I like him a lot more since we turned into a city rather than an island, because he's way more hands-off and just kind of like lives his own life, does what he does, and I think that's really great. He still goes out of his way to comfort Win on her bad days, which I am all in support of. I also like new Jacob. I like Jacob since the headspace became a city. He's also been a lot more chill. I think he, you know, again, it probably has a lot to do with also trauma processing is done, and we're a lot more like grounded and functional for the most part, because so he doesn't have to like constantly monitor who's out front. Do I need to switch people? Should I lock up the inside, you know, and keep things dark? Occasionally he still steps up and does stuff, but he doesn't have to do it as much, and so since he doesn't have to have his guard up all the time, he seems a lot more relaxed, a lot less grumpy. But yeah, he's much less on edge. He's much less nitpicky, much less helicopter parenty. So yeah, they've both kind of backed off and like started enjoying their own life together, and that's made me like Jacob a lot more too. Jacob I'm a lot more fond of now. I mean, I was never not fond of him. He always help take care of me and stuff, but he has also gotten a lot more relaxed. He's not as overbearing as he used to be also. He's very, I don't know, he's very hands-off anymore. It seems like he trusts the system and trusts our functionality enough that he doesn't need to be constantly watching and controlling who's fronting and you know, really stepping in on that point. Him and Jonathan both have just been very relaxed and enjoying their own life in the inner world as we thrive in the outer world. Jacob is cool though. Like he was the first one who came to me and helped me adjust to realizing I was a system, realizing I had missed 16 years, realizing, you know, that this was my life now. And he was very chill about it, which in hindsight, of course he was, he doesn't express emotions, but that's what I needed. When he was talking to me, I needed someone to be very calm and matter of fact. So, because he helped me out in that way, like, obviously I have a lot of respect for that, and I appreciate that from him. I haven't interacted with him a lot since, but I have fond thoughts of him. Thanks, Jacob. Jacob is very good. He is very attentive. Jacob is very attentive and makes sure that everyone is feeling the least amount of stress that they can, and well, this is going to be a problem. He will make it, he can put walls up so we cannot see the outside if it is stressing us out or making us uncomfortable. But obviously he does that with our permission. He does not try to take control or do something, you know, without making sure we are okay with it first. I respect Jacob. He likes everything to run well, and he stepped aside to allow me more control, basically as soon as I appeared. So he respects the place that I have decided to have, and I appreciate that very much from him. I respect him, and when he feels he needs to step up, you know, I step back and give him that space. I like Jacob a lot more than I used to, again, since we changed from island to city. He's way more chill, he's not so controlling of the whole system, because, like, I mean, he doesn't think that we need to be micromanaged, which I absolutely appreciate. So I'm glad that he's kind of backed off, and him and Jonathan kind of do their own thing. And we get to do our own thing, and we exist, and I get to say, hey, you're cool, and I don't have to say, hey, please stop shoving me up front against my will. My thoughts about Wynn have not changed and will probably never change. I guess you could say she's like a little sister to me, or, you know, even though she's technically older than how I identify, but like, keeping Wynn happy and protecting Wynn and making sure Wynn's life is going smoothly is kind of like most everything I care about. Wynn is cool. Wynn is a hard worker and a very, you know, like passionate person. I still have a lot of sour feelings over the situation surrounding Wynn and I, in that I went dormant and she didn't. And she got to experience a bunch of like living that I never did. I misdirect that anger toward Wynn more often than I should, but like I've talked to her about it and been like, listen, I know I shouldn't be angry at you. It's not your fault. It's just, I'm mad at the universe, I guess. But like she gets it and she forgives me, which I appreciate. Wynn she does the absolute best she can do to try to be the spearhead of the system, that she can guide us down a path that will lead us to being successful and happy and having good people in our life and having good food and fun things to buy, and she just wants everybody to feel loved and taken care of, and she works very, very hard to make sure that that is done, and that is, you know, it is a stressful job to have, but she carries herself very well with it. Wynn is lovely, a little silly sometimes, a little emotional sometimes, but has the best intentions with everything that she does, and tries very hard to make every day a little bit better than the last one. Tries to make good impacts in the world and whatnot, so I think that's quite lovely. Wynn's fantastic. Wynn is my buddy. She looks out for the system, which I think is great. She's a great, she's a great host, she's a great friend, she's a great system mate. I like making sure that she's okay, you know? Daniel is my sweet, sweet boy, and I love him, and he's perfect in every way, and he makes me so happy, and I don't know what I'd ever do without him. Daniel's chill as hell. I like Daniel. You know, he's very calm, very calming, very, like, good at the, like, being empathetic when you need someone to listen to you and like you need someone to get it, Daniel will get it. You know, he'll be like, yeah, I understand. This is what I'm hearing you say. And you'll be like, that's exactly what I'm saying. So it's therapeutic to talk to him. Or, you know, sometimes he gets sad and I get sad and we just sit together quietly and have the sads together. And sometimes that's all you need. Daniel is he's also very emotional. He allows himself to feel very strong emotions, and he is very, very shy. And I hope that maybe someday I can help him to be loud and embrace himself fully and not be so shy and unsure all the time. Daniel is very strong. He is very emotional, but is able to set aside his emotions and his insecurities for the betterment of the others in the system. And I admire that quite a bit. I see a lot of emotional and spiritual strength in him. Yeah, I'm quite fond of that boy. Daniel is cool. Daniel is very sweet. He's very giving. He's very patient. We're friends now, which is cool. I kind of got my head out of my ass and, you know, realized that I don't have to put other people down in order to feel good about myself. And once I stopped doing that, it turns out we are a pretty good match as far as friendship goes. So go figure. Kit is pretty all right. Like, she's grown up a lot, and, you know, we're kind of in like the beginning budding stages of a friendship. And, you know, we spend a lot more time together in the inner world. I mean, anything is more than zero. But, you know, we make a point to spend time with one another and talk with one another and kind of, you know, get to know each other better. Before, we just super didn't like each other. So it's very different, and I kind of dig it. Like, I like getting to know new Kit quite a bit. Kit has grown so much. She's grown so much. She's become a lot more emotional, but a lot more responsible, with a better understanding of herself and no longer like crippling self-doubt. She's always wonderful and supportive of me, and I hope she thinks that I'm wonderfully supportive of her. I appreciate everything she is and everything she does. Kit is super cool. You know, I used to look up to her like a sister, and I wanted to be just like her, but she has taught me that it's way cooler to be just like me. So I'm 100% being just like Kim, and I have Kit to thank for springboarding me in that direction. Kit is very loud and never shy, and she comes out and she says, I own the world, and then the world bows to her. Kit is probably my favorite of the headmates. She is absolutely wild, doesn't care what anyone has to say, just lives her most obnoxious truth, and I think that is absolutely brilliant. I'm thrilled every time she fronts and gets to just go and enjoy the world and be her truest self. Kim is a darling. I adore her. You know, she's definitely got a lot of like stubbornness to her, which I think is pretty cool. You know, she's gonna make her way in this world, and she's not gonna give up, and she's gonna make sure that like she's known and she's appreciated, and you know, I really like just how like forward going she is. Go Kim. I love Kim. I love her. I love the way she sees the world. I love how like aware she is of like her desires and hopes and goals, and how she doesn't stop for them. I love that she has her very own pronounced sense of taste, but she's just like, yeah, these are my things. This is what defines me. This is who I am, and I'm not going to change for anybody, and I think that's great. She still seems to go back and forth on whether or not she likes me at all, but she's been fronting more lately, and I think that has made her more comfortable with me. Mostly, we're still kind of going through the, like, I was host, but now you're host, and I'm mad at you for that. But I try to respect her and give her space and love as much as I possibly can, because I can't even fathom what that would be like. Kim is my very best friend. She is very, very sweet. She comes to me and she says, Lito, let us talk. And she lets me talk, and she is very reaffirming and validating to all of my thoughts and worries or sadness or anything. And then she tries to distract me with happy things. She will often go and speak on my account to the others. She will say, hey, maybe we can do this for Lito, or maybe we can do that for Lito, and it is important to make time for Lito, and you know, she stands up for me like that, and I think that is wonderful, and she is so great. Kim is lovely as well. She's very no nonsense. She knows what she wants, and she makes that thing happen. She doesn't feel like she needs to tiptoe or ask permission when she knows exactly what would make her happy or what she sees as the best forward path. That's a level of confidence that I think is it provides good things for the system as a whole, as well as her independently. Kim is still my sweet little honey bunch of oats. I love her so much. We take care of each other. I look after her. She looks after me. I encourage her in everything that she does. I just want her to be happy. Yeah, she's my sweet goth baby, and I'll love her forever. She's, you know, like, I'm big sister, she's little sister. It's a very good dynamic that we have going on. Ed and Oz, I'm gonna do together because they're always together, and I barely ever seen Oz. Like, he kind of just stays in his room doing his whole, like, managing the headspace thing. I think I've seen him like twice ever. And I think both of those times were just because he fronted. I don't really have a lot of interaction with Oz. Ed is cool. Ed comes in and checks on all of us, you know, make sure we're doing okay. He's like, you know, the front man, you know, he's the Steve Jobs of the headspace running, you know, he's the guy who talks to everybody and makes sure, you know, that we're enjoying our time, can they make any changes, whatever. But like, it's not, you know, it's not fakey, it's not businessy. Like, you could tell that he genuinely cares about us, and by extension, I'm pretty sure Oz cares about us too. But again, I don't have a lot of interaction with him, so nah. Oz, I haven't interacted with him at all. He stays shut back up in his room, so like the month after him and Ed were created, I was able to kind of get in touch with him and be like, hey, what's up? Nice to meet you. He's very to himself and stuff. He fronted like twice, I think. And now he just stays back in his room and makes sure the inner world is running well. Ed and I got into a fight, but he's still doing everything he can to be a protector. He's not shy about being like, oh, hi, I'm here to take care of everybody, just gonna set this straight. So sometimes that's frustrating because sometimes it goes against what I feel is okay, or, you know, like, he may see trouble in a situation where I see no trouble, and then he steps in and makes things difficult. If he doesn't think there's a reason for it, he won't do things, you know. He's passionate about keeping us well, and that I appreciate. And so, yeah, even though sometimes he frustrates me to death, yeah, I love Ed. He's good. Oz exists in his room. He's up in his room all the time doing inner world functionality work, whatever the hell that is. Ed kind of comes out and is like the team representative and like checks in on us and makes sure everything's going okay. He will intervene in the outside world when he feels like he needs to. Not when he needs to, when he feels like he needs to, which I want to say are two very separate things. And I just kind of wish that he would calm down sometimes. But he does try very, very hard and, you know, to make sure everybody's okay, and everything he does is with the intent of keeping us well. So on that end, I can't get mad. He doesn't listen to anybody else when he thinks he's right. And that's frustrating. Ed and Oz, they are very no-nonsense. They are businessmen. They are businessmen. I know nothing about Oz. I've never seen Oz. But Ed, he is a businessman. He walks around. He is a businessman. And he goes and he talks to people and he sweetens people up. And, you know, he is charming, a little falsely charming, but he is charming. And he does his job and he makes sure that everything is working well and that people, you know, sometimes he steps in and says, you cannot handle this job, I will handle this job. And so he goes and he handles it. He always does. He does not back down from a job that he is taken on. Oz, my amazing husband, where would I be without him? He is the light of my life. He is the brains of the operation. I am the charming personality that leads it all. We make a perfect pair. Life would not be half as enjoyable if he were not with me. Ed and Oz, I adore them. I adore them to bits. I love Ed and just how, like, take no shit he is. I love Oz and his just, like, super determination, like, see a job, get it done, you know, like it's not about the spotlight, it's about doing a good job. And I think that's fantastic. I love their dynamic. I love what they've done with the headspace. I love just like the way they balance things out in the system. Like A+ to those boys. Mwah, mwah. I love them. Lito. Lito's just a ball of sunshine. I adore Lito. He's so optimistic all the time. Even though he's shy as hell like I am, so I can relate in that instance, you know, but when he comes out of his box, you know, which is pretty sure only around Julie, almost only around Julie, you know, but when he does, he's like, I'm gonna make everyone smile, and like, I'm here to spread the smiles and spread the joy, and let's add some happiness, and he's a great listener, and you know, he's just a very, very cool guy. Like, I hope that we're able to get to a point where he can overcome his shyness and kind of, you know, go out and be this bright, sunshiny ball to other people. But, you know, for now, he's digging life, just hanging out in the headspace and hanging out with Julie when he can. So as long as he's happy, that's good by me. Lito is, as usual, just a super big ball of sunshine. He is very shy and very self-conscious about his voice, and I know 1,000,000% that that's my fault because I'm always just like hyper worrying. Every video where I talk about Lito or he talks about himself, we talk about his accent. Everyone who has ever given us feedback in comments or in person has been like, yes, his accent sounds like, it doesn't sound like someone is faking an accent. It sounds like, you know, authentic to him, like that's a natural way for him to speak, and it's not offensive and nobody's gonna think it's offensive. And I'm just like, but what if someone thinks we're pretending, and what if they, you know, so like I am trying so hard to get rid of this worry. It's really hard to get rid of this worry. And because of that, he doesn't come out as much. And I feel terrible about that. But I'm trying really, really hard, and Julie is encouraging him out. Him and Julie are still best friends, and I think that's great, and I'm really, really grateful for all the love that she gives him in ways that I can't because I have that hang up. But he's wonderful, and he's perky, and he cares about everybody, and he's just a beautiful, beautiful soul, and I wish I didn't have this, like, white guilt, I guess, over everything surrounding him. Yeah, I don't know what to say. Lito's cool. He's very in your face, which very much like scared me away at first. I was like, you're too much. Don't talk to me, please. But he's actually really, really sweet and very genuine and very caring and very insecure. And he has a lot of the same fears I do of, you know, being disappearing and, you know, just being generally not cared about. You know, unfounded fears. Like, we have a very loving circle, and I don't want you guys being worried about how Lito is being treated. But, you know, those insecurities pop up, and, you know, I have been able to find ways that make me feel secure, and I'm trying to help him too. Like, I'm being his little cheerleader, like, go Lito, live your truth, rah. I like him a lot, and I also, because, like, we've become such close friends, and, you know, compared to everybody else, I'm basically his bestie. And so I have the best line of communication to him. So if others can't like get to his part of the headspace or can't get a hold of him, I'm like his little messenger bird. Like, people will be like, hey, like Gwen will be like, hey, I need Lito to know this. Can you please tell him I can't find him? I'll be like, yeah, got you. And I always can find Lito because we are tight. Lito is a silly man who loves life and food. Lito is very awesome. He's always been awesome. He's always been a little ball of sunshine. I don't interact with him very often just because he kind of hangs out in the back of the headspace and I'm normally near the front. But every time I see him, he's, you know, insecure as always, but he's always willing to like try to make other people smile and stuff like that. So, you know, I wish he could be happier. I wish I knew how to help him be happier, but he's still great. He's still a great guy. I almost never see Jessica. She's content to kind of live out her own life, her own area, you know, in the headspace. She's a lot, her headspace is a lot more detailed than the rest of us because she's like living life and doing jobs. I think she's even started seeing clients now. Like she's living a full life in the headspace, like being herself. And she's happy, like she's very content and fulfilled that way. Occasionally she'll like pop forward and be like, hey, I saw something. Do I need to like come forward and deal with an issue? You know, so she's still attentive and caring. But you know, she's pretty chill and off doing her own thing. Jessica really she kind of just lends me strength a lot. Even though she also mostly lives in the inner world, I can feel close to her and she's like, yeah, you go. Yeah, I got your back. I'm here to support you. You're awesome. You know, and just kind of like, she doesn't come close unless I talk to her first. But she's always very positive and has great feedback for me and just, you know, is like, yeah, keep it up. Keep up the good work. So she's just a nice little reassuring part to have in my head. Jessica exists. She's happy. I've been told that, yep, Jessica is, I don't know Jessica. I'm sure she is nice. I've heard she is nice. I don't interact with her. I don't see her in the headspace. I don't know where she lives. I don't know where she goes. But we have never crossed paths, so I don't know Jessica. Jessica's quite charming. I don't know much about her, only that she requested that she be here during daytime and she sort of exists in her own world within the headspace. She's kind of in her own little parallel dimension where she gets to live her life inside as freely as she likes. She's very clear about the things that she desires and at the same time doesn't ask for much. I have no beef with Jessica. I don't interact with her. Like the only interaction that I've had in the past is that when she would front, I was the only one who could like get her out of the front back when she like didn't know she was a part of our system or whatever. There's just like a small level of annoyance there because that's the only situation that we've interacted really. From what I hear, she's great now, but I haven't interacted with her in forever. And the interactions that I had in the past were like have soured my view. But I'm not like letting that have me like judge her. I just don't know what to say about her because we don't have a relationship. Finally, the littles. We've got new Karen because Josh integrated into Karen, and we've got new Michelle because Todd integrated into Michelle. They're still very sweet little girls. I think Karen got less emotional, Michelle got more emotional, just because of, you know, the boys' personalities. Like, I think they're great. I'm not good with kids, you know, so I appreciate them. If they need anything from me, obviously I'm gonna be there. But like, hands-on, constantly caring for them and like catering to their needs and stuff, like that's super not my jam. And so I'm like the cool uncle who will spend time with them occasionally, but definitely not a dad's, because I don't know, I don't think I could do that. Not great with kids. I can't get enough of them. I love them so much. They're so sweet and so pure, and every time they front, they get a little bit more confident and a little bit more okay. You know, Karen still has kind of an innate fear and has trouble, you know, recognizing that we're in a safe place, but she's doing better at that, and she's kind of exploring the world, and she's expressed the desire to have possessions out here. The fact that she's even expressing desire to play with things out here is really, really, really cool and very, very positive. Michelle is still just a sweet little bean who likes to help and likes to be outside and likes the color pink and likes pigs so much. They're very sweet. I live with them. Their laughter makes me happy. But I'm not a kid person. I don't interact with them as more than I have to. I don't take care of them. Kit takes care of them. I watch TV on the couch while she plays with them on the floor and maybe throws them a thumbs up every now and again. Unless I have to, you know. Sometimes Karen has like panic attacks and I have to come in and help, but kids aren't my thing. That's not my thing. So I don't interact that much. We have Michelle, who she wants to be very bold. She still has a lot of fears, but she is very courageous as she goes forward and tackles those fears and doesn't let anything stop her. And then we have Karen, who is growing braver and braver every day. She loves to explore. Her most recent thing that she likes very much is Monster High, which is unfortunate because Monster High was apparently at its peak a few years ago, so she's a little bit late. But we were able to find her a doll of Frankie, the little Frankenstein monster girl, and she likes it, and she can watch the old cartoons on YouTube, and Netflix has some new movies, so she is able to, you know, enjoy that, and I'm very, very glad. Then the littles, Michelle and Karen, I mean, they're sweet. I don't interact with them much. I like how much the others, you know, dote on them and make sure that they are well. But I don't really go all that hands-on. I pay attention to them because their emotions are very, very closely tied to Wynn's, and if they are upset, then Wynn is upset. But as far as the inner world goes, as long as they, you know, feel safe and happy within their apartment with Kit and Kim, then things go relatively smoothly. So I don't need to intervene with them often, really ever. But they're both very brave and strong in their own rights, so I'd say it's good to have them around. I'm still in charge of, like, I still live with the littles. Kim and I and the littles all share an apartment. We all have our own room. Like, Kim has her room, I have my room. The littles have their room. And I adore them to bits. Karen has gotten so brave and so outgoing, and she's just like super grown and like coming to her own, and I think that's fantastic. Michelle is, you know, still really overcoming her fears and learning how to communicate. Like, it's so funny because like she has a good vocabulary, like she'll use like big words, like, you know, but at the same time she still has trouble articulating what she wants to say. So like when she gets to use a big word, she's very, very excited, but she doesn't always know how to articulate her feelings. But she's been working on it. She's been getting better. She's been trying to overcome her fear of like being out in public. And I just think like she's trying to better herself and trying to become a happier, healthier her. So like, oh God, my two little sweet babies, I adore them, and they bring me so much joy. And that's the whole list. I don't think I forgot anybody. I hope I didn't forget anybody, because that'd be sad. Did any of our relationships surprise you? Did any of them absolutely not surprise you and you were like, I could have told you that? What was the biggest surprise between the last video and this video that you remember seeing? Just comment, just say anything. Just say hi, Kim, whatever. We like reading your comments. Also a reminder that we have a sale on our Teespring. If you type in this promo code at checkout, then you will get a awesome discount on all of our Entropy System merch. This goes until December 25th, so if you want some cool stuff for a gift for someone you care about, or just a gift for you, then yeah, definitely go and do that. As always, everyone, I hope you remember that you are loved, you are valuable, you are valuable, and you are valid. And you are valid. Love you all bunches. Bye! Mwah!